And we are live on the Red Pill News, coming at you from the mountains of New York State, man. I'm hiding out in the mountains, away from Putin and away from all of that. Uh-oh.
It says your mic is muted. I see the little mute sign on it, but it won't let me unmute it.
Okay, you know what? Notwithstanding all kinds of problems, because I am up here in the mountains of New York, this is Joe Montaldo popping in. I want to talk about Vicky White. I want to talk about this is the jail boss who freed, took the dude and took off with him. And it's interesting that you know what? I don't like the fact that they're taking the responsibility away from her, saying, "Hey, this." Okay, so you know what? I had to switch to my hotspot, so we'll see if this works a little better. So it really comes down to, in America, they don't want they people, the extreme libs don't want uh, people to be responsible for themselves. They want the world to be responsible, or they want to be able to blame somebody else. So here's a woman who is a sheriff's deputy for what, 17 years. She was close to retirement, the whole bit. She had $300,000 house, sells her house for 95,000 cash, goes and grabs this guy and takes off. This killer who's basically is saying he's going to be retried and put on death row. So it really comes down to uh, sensibility. And this woman made her choices. So you have a crowd out there saying, well, women are like have been abused in our system and society and haven't made enough money and whatever. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I watched my mom, a single mom, working her butt off, to support two kids, and women didn't get paid a lot of money. She would train men, and they would go on and make more money than her, and she trained them. So I got to see all of that growing up. But in this case, this in this case, we have a whole society out there of politically corrected people who are saying, he was a powerful influence, and what did he say to her? What did he do to control her? She was under control. Maybe she was under control of him, because she had the gun, she had the police car, she had the handcuffs. She was a police officer. A police officer. So she made the choice. It wasn't coercion. It wasn't anything else. She also, well, when they got caught, She shot herself, killed herself. These are not good people. God only knows what this woman has done in her time as sheriff. If she, as a deputy, is she's that messed up, they need to look back into their at least close career. Her husband died a year ago. Like to see what happened to that dude. I mean, like but they had $95,000 cash. The only thing that they could do was like the whole it was her plot, her plan. This guy is in jail. He can't do anything in jail. He's basically stuck, right? Until she gets him out. And they started heading. They were in Alabama. Now you would think if you had $95,000 cash, and you were gonna break a dude out of prison and take off, you would think that you would you're in freaking Alabama. You would think that you get a boat, some 3, 4, 5 grand for a boat, whatever, and just leave, get on that thing and go. And you're in Mexico, no problem. You're gone. You could just float right over to Mexico and get yourself a life. No, they ditched the one vehicle and got another vehicle and ditched that and got another one and ended up in Indiana. You know, they got caught in Indiana. It makes perfect sense because of all the road construction in Indiana. If you're going to get caught anywhere, I have a terrible, terrible story about Indiana, which I'll share with you, of course. As I was driving through in 2020, late 2020, going out west, driving through Indiana, and it's a state that you would never, ever, ever, never go to unless you truly had to. There has to be a reason to go. It's like Kentucky, or West Virginia. These are places that you would never go. I mean, there's no reason to go to West Virginia. Is there any reason? Can you think of a reason to go to West Virginia right now? Of course not. You don't even know anything about it. Only thing you know about West Virginia, that's where like that deliverance happened, and people just don't go there. It's a very poor place, and it's not a pleasant place to be. In Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, that's his state. Mitch McConnell's a terrible politician. Kentucky's a terrible state full of unbelievable amount of poverty. What do they do? It's got bourbon. I'll give it that. If I was going to go to Kentucky, I thought about it. I thought about going to Kentucky to check out the bourbon scene, but I was scared to death of everything else. I got New York license plates. I need some slack jawed hillbilly coming after me, hillbilly cop. People I don't care about. People don't mess with me because I look like someone you don't want to mess with. Cops, they love messing with people. They make a job out of it. you know, and it's not even, you don't even do anything wrong. They just look at you sideways. And of course I don't like that either. So, but why bother? That's what I'm saying. All these places, if they have any kind of relevance, is because they built some kind of uh, thing for you to come visit, a tourist trap, right? Like this Disney World, tourist trap. Is there any other reason to go to Central Florida? No, not in your life. Of course, you don't want to go to Central Florida. There's nothing there. There's alligators and hillbillies, man. All the people Jerry Springer used to select for his show, the ones who used to fight it out. That's what's there. So yeah, there are states that you just don't need to go to, and Indiana is one of them. So Indiana, if you're going to go east west in America, you're most likely going through Indiana, unless you want to go to some slumpy lower state, right? Got to go through Ohio, got to go through Indiana, got to go through Illinois, right? Then you can make a decision, north, south, whatever, easier ways to go if you're going out west. So Indiana, 2 years ago, was doing road construction for 150 miles. 150, it's true, 150 miles road construction. They would stop traffic for 20, 25 minutes. You're just sitting there, no indication, nothing going on. You don't know. Traffic would start moving again. You'd stop traffic. Traffic would start moving again. And all because I ignored my Google Maps when Maps was like, get off here. It kind of gave me a last kind of, when you go on like 75 miles an hour, and those exits are coming quick. your Google Maps, you start screaming out, "Take this exit now!" Blah. You got the music on, you're chilling, you're cranking down the road. So yeah, I didn't take the exit, and because of that, I got stuck in a lot. But even though I would have been stuck in traffic anyway, that would have just been a side road for a short time. Would have saved a couple minutes, but certainly I didn't pay attention to it. So in traffic, you have to be able to use the bathroom. Some people are stuck. We're not like really thinking about, hey, am I going to hit heavy traffic? Now, this guy in this pickup truck, he was from Indiana. So I don't feel bad for this guy, even though what happened to him was embarrassing and terrible, right? Got a big red pickup truck, older guy. He jumps out and he's got like, those khaki type of pants or whatever, with a tan color pants, right? Cargo pants, but tan. When he gets out, you can see this trail of diarrhea basically on right in the middle of his pants all the way down, and everyone. I looked to my rearview mirror. I looked in front of me. Everybody was like laughing at this dude. They couldn't believe it. They were shocked. It was like the roadside attraction. You're sitting there. Your traffic's not moving. A dude pulls over in a pickup truck, a big red one at that, and gets out, and he has poop all over his pants. Of course you're going to look. You're not going to look. You look away after a minute because it was pretty nasty, and you got to think to yourself, well, that could be me. Now I wear black pants mostly, so but I'm not about to poop my pants in a car, especially my Jeep. I'll get out and poop on the side of the road like a dog, do like a cat, poop and cover it up with dirt with my foot. You know what I mean? But this guy obviously got stuck in a situation that he didn't think he was going to be in. So that's the deal with Indiana. If you go through Indiana, you really have to be careful of the major roads that they're happy to block off. They, you know what? Don't go ahead and do 20 miles at a time, right? 30 miles at a time, even 40 miles at a time if you're going to do the construction. They put these pylons down. They blocked off all that road. Much of it was just nothing. And I just think that they don't give a crap. The ones who do the road work, the ones who plan it, I just went through a bunch of it coming here. Like it was just pylon, pylon, pylon. Nobody's working. You might see, oh, at one little section, you might see the crew working, but then you get the whole thing blocked off, or then they load you off until the other side of the highway. So then, you got the oncoming traffic at you. That's what New York does. That's New York road construction, other places. So anyway, these idiots ended up in Indiana, and it was the United States Marshals Service who got them. Don't you love the Marshal Service? I love the Marshal Service, man. When I was young, that was one of my dreams to be part of the Marshal Service. And, obviously, I wasn't cut from that jib, but I liked the idea. I liked the thought. I liked the idea. So, but I just want to put the responsibility in this woman's lap, just like the one that was in Queens, who was cheating on her husband with the handyman, and the guy, kills her and chops her up in the basement and whatever. While one of her kids was home, her husband was out doing a college tour with another kid, and this horrible woman just had no problem cheating. That wasn't the only dude either that she was with. And where's the responsibility? How come you don't hear all these people, especially like people on the View? Ugh, how come you don't hear them saying, "Where's the responsibility of these women? How dare Vicky White, betray the police officers and her oath of office?" But it means nothing to people like that. It's just a job to people like that, And she fell for this guy. Well, what do you think? What do you think she liked about him? Well, he was 6'9". She must have liked something about him. Obviously, he was also in his 30s, and she's 56 years old, right? But her whole crappy life ended on a roadside, following an 11-day manhunt. Her family, everybody that she knows, she threw her life away, but she chose to do it. Nobody else. It was her decision, her alone. This guy, he's back in jail. He's going to be back in jail. He's going to try him again, and I don't know. They're saying that he'll get the death penalty and that type of thing, for the things that he's done connected to white supremacy is what they say. And I don't know, they could have been in La Mexico. That's my that's my criticism. My only critique really is that they could have been in Mexico. They could have been gone, and nobody would even know. They could have been beyond the limits of the United States, and no time at all on a boat. They would have been gone. But they're idiots. They're stupid. They don't think straight. They don't think, period. And she didn't think, obviously, selling her house for 95 grand, whatever. I don't know if she'd probably had a larger mortgage, but whatever, man. I'm just saying, put the responsibility in the lap of the people that deserve it. Is because she's female, they're letting her off the hook. If it was switched, if it was a male sheriff's deputy escaping with a female killer, right? Then they'd say, "Oh my God, he was horrible, and his influence, he did this, and he's evil," because it's a war on men. We're in a war on men in the United States of America. It's a war on men, and it's that simple. And some get it easier than others. Oh, how many times have you heard the term toxic masculinity? Right? Please, man. So, me personally, stupid people piss me off. And there's some real doozies out there, right? But then hypocrisy pisses me off too. And there's also things that they say how terrible like overdose deaths are in America. All these heroin addicts and people with fentanyl overdosing. All these people, I don't care. I don't care about them. They threw their lives away. Why should I care about their life if they don't care about their life? Oh no, you got to save their life because they're going to cure cancer. They're going to do something significant in this world. Hey, maybe, but most likely not. Most likely they're just gonna be some purge on their family and just use and abuse and destroy their relationships until they die in some rat hole. And that's really how it goes. But no, no, no. You got to go out. You got to stop all these things. At the same time, in places like Ithaca, New York, they're passing out needles and they want tents where people can go shoot up and they want to be able to test the heroin before they give it back to the people and whatever. Thinking like it's something that you can function on. Like heroin is something you can function on. You can have a job and have a life and raise kids and be a heroin addict. No, it's not. They're escorting these people down that path, and then that's the path they get. I watched documentaries on heroin, whatever, and these dealers down in the city. The guy to be like every 11th, 12th bag, he puts a fatal dose in there. He'll load it full of fentanyl, and when that happens, that person dies. The other heroin addicts hear about that and they want that dope because they think it's more powerful. That's how sick minded they are. And then you hear the song of the dope addict. Oh, I know I'm gonna die soon, and that's just the way it goes, and whatever. I don't feel sorry for you. You did it. I feel sorry for these little kids who get cancer. You know what I mean? And they're sitting there in some hospital with a bald head, not even know if they're going to live or not. They didn't make that choice. You made the choice to shoot up. You made the choice to do the drugs. You made the choice to free some criminal and take off. You made the choice. Why should anybody care about the outcome of those people's lives? Even that Vicky White, oh, it's so terrible. She shot herself. It's so terrible. Watching on the news, it's so terrible. Why? Why is it so terrible? She know what she did? She saved the court a ton of money. She saved her state a ton of money because there's no trials, no nothing, no nothing, no lawyers, no this, no that, no nothing. She's gone, and that dumbass is back in jail and where he belongs, and that's it. And that's it. Maybe they shouldn't let women work with men like that. Maybe they should keep the female deputies with the females. Maybe they should keep the male deputies with the males. Did anybody say anything like that? Of course not. Of course not. Because we're in a world of blame. You gotta blame somebody else. If I could create an excuse pill, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. Take the pill. It's an excuse. Do anything you want to do. I watched Biden talking about the MAGA extremists and getting angry, angry old man. All you know what? Would I just paid over $5 a gallon for gasoline? Cost me well over $80 to fill my tank, and I had a quarter of a tank to start with. For food, for gas, for people suffering, and all the things going on. That's what he talks about, and he's blaming MAGA people for the current crisis because baby formula is low. You know why it's low? Because criminals steal it. They use it to thin out their heroin, thin out their meth and things like that, but they also sell it on the black market to use for drugs. That's why they lock up the baby formula in all these places. So, and you know why there's shortages? Because in California, where all this stuff comes in, they've been raiding the trains. Dude, those as the trains are on the tracks, they open them up, they steal all this stuff. It's a huge mess. You know, Biden doesn't want to talk about that. His administration doesn't want to talk about that. The mainstream media doesn't want to focus on that because it's a black mark on them. So, but you're gonna go after those MAGA people. That's fine. Those insurrectionists, man. When Trump drove all those people into a frenzy, and they ran and stormed the Capitol building, the people, the guards who was guarding Congress, when they got to that door, they smashed the windows. If I was one of those guards, I would have shot every last one of those people trying to get in. I would have shoot to kill, shoot to kill. 'Cause that's your job, is to protect Congress. And then they didn't. One woman got shot. They cried for her. Oh, she shouldn't have been shot. Fuck, she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have smashed the window to get in. She shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have been there. But Trump incited that riot. I watched him do it. I couldn't even believe what he was saying and sending people after Mike Pence. And Mike Pence had to go into hiding for quite some time. Just now, he's starting to come out in the daylight, get some sunshine, kinds of buffalo people chasing after him, whatever. Hey, man, but you can't blame Trump or Make America Great people or anything like that on any situation that Biden's dealing with. You can't blame them. You may as well just go out there and blame them for global warming and blame them for every other stupid thing that's happening. You can't blame them. How about this though? Biden never said anything about the extreme libs who went out there and torched police stations and killed people and stabbed people and raped people and these so-called protests that weren't protests. They were just events where they were stealing. They were going into stores and stealing all they want. Ooh, not a peep word about that. Not a word. So who do you think is more dangerous? You think it's the MAGA extremists, or do you think it's the libtard extremists? I'll say the MAGA people, as far as I know, except for that one event, the Capitol building. I never did anything. They're not stealing. They're not going into stores and robbing stores. They support the police. They certainly don't want to hurt the police. They go out there. They don't burn down police stations. They donate money to them. You know. So you're gonna go on a rant about MAGA people, and that's supposed to make people feel better about what? So what about the gasoline crisis? And what about everything else? Oh no, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And of course, Biden solely blames Putin. It's Putin's a factor, hell yeah, but so is Biden. Their system and their plan. Oh, we're going to put more ethanol in the gas. Ethanol is the worst possible thing to use in your engine. It is just bad stuff, and I resent to even have any percentage of ethanol, and which you're forced to get it. It's corn syrup basically. It's from corn. Anything corn is not good for your motor. It's that simple. We're gonna and also, of course, doesn't give you any gas mileage. It's filler. It's fluff. It doesn't give you gas mileage. It's just fluff. So that's no answer. The answer is to drill. The answer is to get going and be energy independent. But see, their platform, the Democrats don't want that. They're against that. These people are talking about building trains between the U.S. and England. That's stupid. Stupid. How stupid? Stupid. Stupid. But yet, that's what they talk about. That's what they talk about. Remember, when that whole thing happened and the gas prices were going up. Gas prices were already up when before a whole Ukraine thing happened. It only had, a couple months ago. Gas prices are already like 370 something a gallon. So the only way to fix the situation is to have leadership that knows what they're doing. That's all. That's all. So you're gonna say, oh, the U.S. overdose rate hits 107,000 last year. Yeah, whatever. COVID hit a million, and those people didn't choose. Well, maybe some of them did. Some of them didn't care about wearing a mask. Some of them didn't care about about doing anything. As a matter of fact, to help them and safeguard their lives against COVID-19. Some people were good citizens and very astute. They knew what to do. They isolated. They quarantined. They did their thing. Some people didn't care. The ones that didn't care went out there and they infected other people. I can't tell you how many people I talked to that oh, I was out at a gathering with a family, and oh, we did Easter, and oh, we did this. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's where you got it. Or you went there and you were sick and you gave it to everybody else. You exposed everybody else. So I see how Oprah is on her soapbox about if all you have to be is a certain color and a certain zip code, and you're going to die, and you're going to die from COVID-19, and the numbers are different from minorities. You know why the numbers are different? Because in these minority groups, they didn't want to wear masks. They didn't want to stop going to parties. They didn't want to stop doing what they were doing. They thought it was all BS. So it comes down again to responsibility of people. The responsibility of people. You are responsible for your own skin, for the decisions you make, for the things that you do. No matter how stupid you are, you're still responsible for these decisions. So if you say I don't believe no COVID, and you're going out and you go out to your NASCAR rally, and you're not going to wear a mask with everybody else and hang out with 15, 20 people, of course, and you get it and they get it and whatever, and a couple of them might die. That's the breaks. That's what happens. Right now, we're in the middle of another surge in the Northeast, and it's going to spread all across the country again. You have another variant of Omicron. You're going to surge all across the country again. So, but I want to talk about hypocrisy of the View. You know the View. I call it a tuna fish salad gone bad. Tuna fish salad in the sunshine gone bad. It is bad. So there's this dude, actor Jesse Williams, right? They're all buzzing about him because he's on some Broadway show where he shows his nakedness, his big penis. The View co-host Sonny Hostin got hot and bothered Wednesday over actor Jesse Williams. They when they leaked the "Take Me Out" nudes. The ladies of the ABC show discussed the rule-breaking record and distribution of the Broadway footage on social media. So they're not going to say they're not going to say he's like toxic male showing his penis to people. They're going to say, "Ooh, look at him," because he's a good-looking guy. And he's got a nice body. So of course they're not going to play the game. But the way they acted, that's more of what caught my eye when I was reading the story. But then you have Whoopi Goldberg, who looks like she swallowed Whoopi Goldberg, who looks like she swallowed Whoopi Goldberg, who looks like she swallowed Oprah. Whoopi Goldberg, who used to constantly go after Oprah Winfrey for being overweight, obese, and saying all kinds of negative and terrible things about Oprah, mainly because she was jealous, I think. And then here's Whoopi, bigger than Oprah ever was, which I think is just desserts, especially when you eat too many. So anyway, so Goldberg stated, "I say it's a matter of time. If you take a gig and you got to take your clothes off, you live in the world where cell phone video is going to happen." So she said that the leak of his penis was going to get out there. All the women agreed that nudity has always uh, been prevalent in art. So all the women agreed on the View. they they agreed about something. That's good. I've seen more naked men on stage than in my bedroom," said Joey Behar. I believe that. I'm sorry to say. I absolutely believe it. And Whoopi said it all looked the same. Went. Generalizing, going after man's masculinity. It's all the same. How dare you? How dare you? And then the host didn't rebut it to Whoopi's all the same. She said, "Well, obviously impressed. I'm impressed by the actor. She said Jesse Williams looks like a specimen." Hostin gushed. "He looks gorgeous. He looks beautiful. His body's beautiful. And this is serious. I have at least 20 friends that have now bought tickets because they want to see his penis." So why is it okay for women to gush over a male nudity, men objectifying men, especially some old crank like Joey Behar? Yuck. Hostess says she feels better about looking at the pictures for a ridiculous amount of time because of Williams's response to the leaked pics during an appearance on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live. It's a body. Once you see it, you realize it's whatever. It's a body, Williams told host Andy Cohen, who's married to that dude from CNN. What's his name? Butthead. Gray butthead there. Anderson Cooper. They made a big deal. Remember when Anderson Cooper came out as gay on the air and had like a drum roll and he was gonna have this huge announcement. It was gonna rock the world. He came out and said he was gay. I would have been shocked if he said he wasn't gay. I think everybody just kind of okay. I don't think people care who's gay, who's not gay. It's your damn business. It's your business. You don't need to go on the air and say, "I have an announcement to make. I'm gay." Who cares? How many heterosexuals do you see making an announcement that they're heterosexuals? Who cares? What difference does it make? All right, here we go. If you go to Florence, Italy, there is the David in full right there, Behar said. Behar is fawning over David's full nudity. "He looks like a statue," Hostin continued, her eyes closed and hands out. "He looks like a David. Beautiful." So if this was a bunch of dudes on a show called The Moo, right? Instead of The View, we can call the Bull. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. The bull, and then you have four old men, fat old men, really like disgustingly fat old men. One younger guy, because you got one younger girl. The rest of them are all these angry fat old men, just going on and on about how gorgeous some girl is, her body, her breasts. Going over how I mean, those people would be chastised for something like that. They wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to do it. They'd get kicked off the air because it's a double standard, and that's what we're in right now, a double standard. So, but and then they say don't objectify women. Now, men are attracted to women. Women are attracted to men. Sometimes men are attracted to men. Sometimes women are attracted to women. But the bottom line is the attraction, the sexuality is not a bad thing. It's not a wrong thing. It's not something you should be ashamed of. It's something that's quite natural. But yet men have been pounded on for quite some time now for having these feelings, for looking at women and saying, "Wow, I really like your body," or whatever. I like, what? It's part of it, isn't it? It's part of it. Maybe you shouldn't be with someone solely because of the way they look. Well, women shouldn't be with men solely for the money that they have, right? There's a two-way street there too, somewhere. So then you have the other part of the world, the PC world, that you say don't objectify women. But here's Hillary Duff. Hillary Duff poses nude on the cover of Women's Health magazine. There she is nude. She got a couple tattoos. I don't get the writing. The writing tattoo. I don't like tattoos on women. Me personally. She has one on the back of her. It looks like a light socket. Looks like a electrical socket on the back of her arm. Looks like it was done in like a prison tattoo. Maybe she was locked up for a while. So here's Hillary Duff. I don't even know who Hillary. I know her name. I don't even know her face. I don't know who she is. I think she's a musician, right? I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that I've seen her name around. She's just not as famous to me as others. All right, Hillary Duff and the Buff. Hillary Duff stripped down and posed nude for women's health body issue, opening up about body image in Hollywood and the accompanying interview. I'm proud of my body. I'm proud that it's produced three children for me. I've gotten to a place of being peaceful with the changes my body has gone through. All that. I also want people to know a makeup artist was also there putting glow all over my body, and someone put me in the most flattering position. So she was posed, she was made to look good. They had the spray, they sprayed them down. In order to prepare for the shoot, Duff trained 4 days a week, lifting weights and focusing on strength training. Not like that crazy Britney Spears, she's every once in a while you see her in like these entertainment rags, and here she is like getting naked again, like, and it's just funny to me that that's her expression, instead of here's my new song. you know no, here's me taking my clothes off, and nobody cares, nobody wants to even see it. She's hit the wall, you know what I mean? She's pregnant again and hit the wall and whatever. I don't know, and she's about 10 different types of crazy. Nobody want I feel sad for her. I feel sad for anybody that's going to go out there and take their clothes off for some kind of relevance to say, look at me, because nobody cares. Nobody cares, or they're going to say, oh, look at you. You're naked over 50 and you look good. Huh? Is that a compliment or is that an insult? I mean, why even bring it up? And how about just people being themselves? Oh, you can't do that because they have to stay relevant. They're all basically doing it here and there. The older ones like Hillary Duff. I don't know who the hell she's. The How I Met Your Father actress. Oh, she's an actress. 34. She's 34, and she doesn't look 34. Like, she doesn't look 34 at all. She looks like 44. If you showed me just her picture, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just like looking at her and looking at the age and like, damn, she looks like someone who's 44 or 50 and that had plastic surgery done. So I don't know. So she talked about her love of tattoos. Duff has more than 20 spread across her arms and her other parts of her body, mostly with an earthy theme. Is that what that 110 voltage thing about? Save for a few fun designs. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Most recently added the word mother to her neck to identify herself as whatever. I think at 34, I've just gained a lot of respect for my body. Oh my God. You see, this is how nuts people are. This is how completely, incredibly nuts. And who puts it out there? Women's Health Magazine. Who puts it out there? It's all Hollywood. It's all these horrible, mainstream media rags, right? And again, another situation, right? Here's an NYPD officer, tailed his suspicious wife uh, to an upstate hotel before killing her dog walker lover and himself. An NYPD cop trailed his wife and her young lover to an upstate hotel, then fatally shot the man before killing himself in a love triangle that turned deadly. Right? Enraged, jealous cop Sean Armstead, 36, was supposed to be working a midnight shift in the Bronx, but called in sick to hunt down his wife, Alexandria Vanderheiden, 35, and her 20-year-old dog walking boyfriend, Edward Wilkins. The bloody saga unfolded after the illicit lovebirds drove separately towards their meeting spot, La Quinta. The La Quinta in Wallkill. Ugh. Wyndham hotels, you know what I mean? Bedbug Central. You gotta avoid avoid them, man. Vanderhayden, who employed Wilkins in her dog walking business, decided to ditch her car down the road before reaching the hotel, and her lover picked her up. And because she was worried that her husband might be on to them and wanted to throw him off if he came looking. So she's weary. He's suspecting. She's going around and ditching her car and getting to this guy, right? The pair stayed at the hotel for several hours before heading out to a local Golden Corral restaurant. The guy's 20 years old. That's as fancy he's going to get at 20. They then headed to a Dave and Buster's in the area. Dave and Buster's. Shortly after 10:45 p.m., the couple left the entertainment site and headed back to their hotel, figuring it was safe by then for Vander Hayden to retrieve her car, given her cop husband had to be at work soon. Wilkins dropped off her vehicle, off right out of the vehicle, and they began to drive separately back. Here's a picture of the young dude who just got sucked in. Here's a picture of her. She's horrible. Uh, she just, seduced this kid. He's a kid. He's 20. Seduced this kid, taking him to hotels and hopping on him. She's a married woman, or her husband's a police officer. Where's her responsibility? Where? And apparently this wasn't her first tete-a-tete, right? Let's see. But the cop, Armstead, was on their tail, with Vander Hayden later telling investigators she believes that her husband tracked her through her cell phone. There you go. The cuckolded hubby chased down the Wilkins as both drove on New York 211, crashing his vehicle into his love rival's car, spinning around. He probably did that tail, whatever. And the pit maneuver. Turning it around the state highway, and witnesses said both cars eventually came resting. The guy, the cop, Wilkins, then jumped out of his car to run for his life. There you go. And he got as far as the parking lot of nearby Buffalo Wild Wings, where he was shot in the back and the head in a volley of 16 bullets fired by Armstead. Right? The veteran cop then turned the gun on himself, committing suicide. Two dead men. 20-year-old boy, cop, married to this woman, patrolling the Bronx, which is a horrible place to patrol to begin with, and she's out there kicking up her legs with these young guys, right? Where's her responsibility? I don't see anywhere in the article about her responsibility and how she basically got the guy killed, and also set things in motion, and her husband's dead, right? And she'll be kicking up her heels next week with somebody else, right? Now she doesn't have the husband to worry about. You know, the Buffalo Wild Wings manager said the night manager told me she kept everyone inside and locked the doors. You're locked into Wild Wings. A tragedy. Yeah, it's a tragedy. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that you can't trust people in your relationship, and more I'm seeing these stories like this where the women have instigated all this stuff, but yet they get away scot free. Nothing ever, I mean, what's going to happen? She didn't break the law by dating a 20-year-old, right? She didn't break the law, but she broke the vows. If that means anything, marriage. So there's a lot of that going on, you know, and then I don't know. I just think it's a crazy world. There's just too much information out there when it comes to Instagram and other social media. People are just they're not doing themselves any favors by by not having that kind of level of self-respect. I don't know, man. So whatever. What we got now? We talked about Amber Heard defecating under bed last week, and that's still going on. It's crazy, man. You think Johnny Depp would just be like, whatever. The guy's got so many other issues at the same time. You think that he would just be done, but it's not that kind of world. It's a show to them, right? They're I mean, I'm not paying attention to it. I just see a news article here and there. I was paying attention to it for 2 seconds. When she pooped the bed, that was enough for me. Who the hell even does that, And how do you poop on demand? That's pretty amazing, I think, I have to applaud that. Because I can't poop on demand. I know when I have to go. but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna poop in the bed right now. Take that, you dirty bastard! I just pooped in your side of the bed, and then blame it on the dog. Anyway, yeah, and then I don't know. Everybody wants to blame everybody else for everything. That's all. That's all this whole week was. Remember that girl from Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey? She ruined blamed the ruining of her career on her mother's advice to get her nose fixed because she had this real horrible honker, and they're saying that's what made her famous because it made her stand out. It wasn't. She was just fit the suit at the time. People become irrelevant, if you think Jennifer Grey is capable of any serious acting. She's not. Patrick Swayze was the whole movie of that Dirty Dancing. It was Patrick Swayze. He was the whole movie. The one Jennifer Grey just played the role of it was like a Jewish resort. In the Catskills they have these restricted resorts where only a certain types of people go. If you're not Jewish, you're not invited. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those settings, and I guess she was like the daughter of some guy there, and you know, I don't know. I didn't watch the movie. I think you guys lose respect for me if I ever said I watched Dirty Dancing. So okay, and again, here we go. Here we go for the women who are over 50. Here's who beat Jennifer Aniston and Liz Hurley in the hottest woman over 50 poll. So this is another thing I don't get. You're not trying to sexualize people. You're not trying to make people into any kind of a thing of ownership, a trophy or whatever. But then here you are arguing who's hotter over 50. You know who's hotter over 50? Nobody. Nobody. It really depends on what you think you like and what you want and whatever, man. And your taste changes as time goes on. But to the 20-year-old guy out there, they're looking at women over 50 like that's their grandmother, you know. And they're not looking at women over 50. Oh, Jennifer Aniston's so hot. Elizabeth Hurley's so hot. No, they're not. They're just a couple of women who out of the millions out there that are in that age group that look better than others. But why would you want to shame all those other women? Number one, and I just don't get the whole point of it if you're not trying to make people into some kind of object, right? So it's Kylie Minogue, 53, been crowned the unexpected winner. I don't even know who the hell that is. Who the hell is that? The Australian singing sensation beat out the British beauty Hurley, 56, and America's sweetheart Jennifer Aniston, 53. America's sweetheart. Oh, here she is. Really? That's what they're saying? She looks like a dude. She got like her stomach and all that. Looks like a dude. I don't get into muscular women. I don't know. If I was going to pick one out of the group, I would say Elizabeth Hurley all the way. All the way. I don't like Jennifer Aniston. I don't like, never liked any of that stuff. But here we go. Is that the one? Yeah. Whatever, man. I mean, that's what they look like. That's great. As time fades on, these articles will go away. They're always trying to push the nudity, the beauty, and all this other stuff. But then the second you start looking at it and you like it, they slap you down like you're some pig and you're not allowed to. And how dare you? You're a creep even to make the comment and that type of thing. But then you have those idiots on the View that can go on and on about a guy's penis, but they're not creeps and they're sexualizing the guy, and that's okay. So that's why this world's messed up. You want to know why it's messed up? It's messed up just like that. So I'm going to end this show. I'll see you guys next week on this Red Pill News. Bye.